I'm heading to a creek that I have not taken y'all in a long time. It does not get any more clear with the picture than this with the sun shining on it. I don't know if you can read that or not, but you probably can. It is a new solar power bank from GOODaaa, G-O-O-D. The pretty cool thing about these is it comes with every cord to fit multiple devices. It has a flashlight, and you can flip it over, and it has throw your phone on it and it charges. But wait, there's more. It comes with this handy dandy little garbage bag that you can take on an airplane, just in case you haven't eaten too much, and that might work. It also has a solar panel on that side, so you can sit it right here. And solar panel rise, coming down. So anyway, long story short, it is basic, it is simple. There is another plug, there is your outlets, there's your iPhone, a couple of USB-Cs, a USB, what is the other port called? I forgot. It has a C, the A, and the lightning input port. So, hard to beat it. And believe it or not, I just realized it has the temperature right there. I did not know that. I've never noticed that. And here's a spot. Let's say you have a nose ring and you don't want to lose this. I mean, how much more handy is that? You simply hook that in your nose ring and carry it around. I thought that was a compass to help me compensate, but it's not. And I was mistaken. This does not have your iPhone just sit it on there and it charges. Does not. But it has everything else a human being could need. And it turns off by itself. And it also has the USB, AC, and auxiliary out and USB. So now, if you like this and think it is absolutely amazing, get it now before the tariffs hit, and it'll be half the price. So 42,800 milliamp solar power bank. Let's get in some water and get some good old grungy water in our mouth. It's crazy. I got right here under the bridge, and there's dogs barking at me. They live under that side of the bridge, and a person lives under that side of the bridge. So, at least I've got options. I have not been down here in many of the moons, and I wanted to see what's here, but it is slick as can be under here. There's always a creek tire, no matter how small. That may not be a tire after all, but it does look like a tired tire. If this is your first time playing in the water with me, then welcome aboard. I'm looking for anything that you want to see, which is why you're here. The moss is heavy, these boots are heavy, but they are made for walking. So again, that's why we're here. There should be a snake or three out today, but one can only hope so, right? Because you need to see the snakes. That is a common creek cart, aka or aka, depending on where you're from, a buggy. This is a common creek pie pan. Anything that floats gets sent to Jim in Mobile. I am not sure how far this will float since it is missing some serious edges. It should make it almost to Mobile. We'll know in a little while. This is also a good creek for looking for crawfish, with the exception that, wait a minute, that appears to be a marble or a bead. I don't know which. That is a bead from a necklace. So not as fun as we had hoped it would be. But the mercury levels are so high in this creek, along with PCBs and other things, that you don't want to put this in your mouth when you find it. This is a common creek Tonka shell. It is metal, so eventually it will be gone. But until then, we will enjoy its beauty and reminisce. Now this item is neither. This is a common road marker. There's a reason we do this, and that's part of it. Let's see what is alive in here without stirring it up first. There's got to be a snake in here, or a turtle a la snapping. There are none of the below. It's important in creeks like this to look for numbers. Like say the number 25. For example, here it is. Okay, that's more of a 125, so that's not what we're looking for. When the wind blows, all 5 of us, that's me and the 4 of y'all who watch my videos, are unable to see anything. But when you get to a spot like this, you want to harvest every golf ball you find. That being the first. That is a Fideliste number 3. You want to harvest every piece of jewelry you can find. This being the first. Then you realize that's not jewelry after all. That is one of those things. You name it, you can claim it. I don't know what that is. Maybe I don't want to know what that is. This is a famous vacation spot right here. You lay right here and you let the water flow over you. And once you get down there, you can have all the coffee you want from right there, or the mocha, or whatever floats your bow tie. Let's say you were down here and you only brought one copper tone flipper with you. Then you say, well, here's another one. Then you ask yourself, do they float? And yourself responds, well, there's only one way to find out. So you bring it over here and you think, well, Jim in Mobile may want that. So you come over here and you put it right here and you wait for it. Jim, let me know if that makes it. That will be there in probably about 30 minutes. I just picked up a $20 bottle of algicide, a small one. I'm not sure it's going to do a lot for this creek, so I'll put it, you know, I'm not trying to be coy, but we'll put it in the pond when we get back to the base camp. These are CCB squareds. These are common creek brim beds. CCB squared is for you ornithologists who are really good with your swimming things. So we're going to keep moving down further or farther. I'm not sure what's the best way to put it. We have lost our pan. It is gone. But we will replace it with this yellow, incredible golf ball. This is a homemade golf ball. It's like homemade beer. People like to call it craft beer, but it's really homemade. Is it craft bread? No, it's homemade bread. So usually a homemade ball like this, people will put their name on it. Tailor-made. So Taylor made this one. We will harvest and we'll press on. There goes the one. Elton John wrote a song about that flipper. We'll keep moving. I can't tell if that's a blue piece of slag or simply a piece of garb. That is neither. That is a harvestable piece of blue plastic. The good thing about plastic is it lasts forever. And you can hang up cradle to grave responsibility, because most people aren't around that created it. You would figure if cradle to grave responsibility, which is old school RECRA Act info and other things, you would figure that if it's truly cradle to grave, those who created it have been graved out already many moons ago. So theoretically speaking, since it's not really a theory, it'll be non-theoretically speaking, there's no one left around that really claims responsibility for anything. That's just me talking. I mean, it's really up to you. Believe it or not, there are some semi-decent bass in here. That one is a small red eye. They are like lightning. But they will hit a June bug worm. Okay, that is a little bit larger one. I doubt you could see that. But pretend like you could and said, wow, that was a good looking fish. Oh, there goes the turtle we've been looking for. It was scurrying about, running amok in the muck. There's another one heading downstream. We won't be able to catch it because I got this freaky snealing that this is going to be over my boot height in a minute. And this is not the water that you want to roll around and play in. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to get down here if we can. This is a spot, if you remember from a video many moons ago, probably over 800 moons ago. I mean, we're getting close. There was a fella in a tree. I just felt a drip in the boot. But there was a fella sitting in one of these trees pondering his existence, and he moved off. He's no longer a tree dweller, but nonetheless, he was a very interesting person to spend some time with and talk to. You can stand there all day long and share the gospel with someone. For the sake of their souls and eternity is why we do that, because we truly believe it as Christians. But if you don't meet somebody's needs, then you have not wasted your time, because God's word does not return void, but they will be less apt to continue to spend time listening to you talk about why you talk about something that you truly believe, when all they want is a clean place to sleep and possibly food and hopefully gainful employment. I am mere millimeters from, although the camera probably flipped upside down, from getting my feet wet. I'm running out of options here, as there is no more uphill to conquer. So we will have to turn around and try to make our way that way. Somebody put that sun visor there because they had something in here that they didn't want to get really hot. So they brought their sun visor in here. And I guess it's working. I don't know. I really have erred. Okay, we're gonna go up here and climb over there. I have forgotten what these are called, but they turn red and you can eat them. I've only found them in this area along this creek bank. I have made it to a spot where we may be able to continue the sojourn. This is also the spot where I rescued Tickle Your Elmo. He or she, I don't want to be whatever the words are now. I got him out of the water and set him on the bank. And a lot of people think that the term Tickle Me Elmo is Spanish for tickle a mole on your body. It's not. It was an actual toy back in the 19th century. I'm sorry, not the 19th century. There they are. There's one actually getting a color. Back in the 1900s. I'll use terms as if I was a reporter. The 1900s, rather. So anyway, you can eat these. I forgot what they're called. Probably not important right now. So the next question is that a bowling ball? Or is that a basketball? Easter has passed. There were a lot of people with big balls like that in their baskets because people bought them at Easter, and it may only be an Alabama thing because they said basketball on them. So when they would quickly run out at the last minute and buy their kids Easter baskets, they would buy these basketballs and put them in there. No idea what that is. That is a juicy bar. Blueberry watermelon. I don't know what that is. So all these kids show up at Easter. Maybe these are Easter presents for children, I don't know. This is a heck bar. I don't have my glasses on, so uh-oh. This may be some sort of something I don't want to know either. So you see all these little kids around town, and they're dragging around this basket with this ball in it. I didn't understand it either, but this is what was in them. You know, your best bet for getting an Easter basketball is, that's a quality ball, and one. That's what name on my socks. This is an official stratosphere ball, or whatever it's called. Indoor, outdoor. Well, how deg the biffer. You start bouncing that inside, somebody's gonna get irritated and they'll say take that outside. So it's not an indoor, outdoor ball. So since we came here for only historical artifacts and animals that live in the water, let's put our eyes and our gaze upon this bank. And we'll see there's nothing there. So let's continue the journey. So far we've found, I've seen a crawfish and it saw me. I saw some turtles and they saw me. I saw some minnows and they saw me. I did kick that ball as hard as I could. I don't have a place to put that ball, and there's a good chance that somebody wants that. So we'll take it down to the next get out and kick it out in a parking lot. And there will be some kid who picks it up and says, "Check it, dog. Bruh, Easter's over. I just scored." About fell down. You keep going. You let us know where we need to go next. As you know, this particular channel on the tube spends a lot of time near railroads. I can't vouch for that one, but it's not what is important right now. There's gotta be something alive in here. One thing about fish and crawfish and snakes and turtles, there aren't many crawfish in here. I think I was mistaken earlier. Crawfish need a pretty clean environment. But an animal being loaded with mercury never has to wonder what their temperature is, because they have internal thermometers with mercury that registers on their eyeballs. So any other fish that rolls up to them can easily say, "Dude, I think you're running a fever." And they'll correct them and say, "No, I'm swimming a fever, and you need to stay in your own fish lane." Common verbal abuse that fish have to deal with are things like, "What koi pond did you crawl out of?" These seem to be trending now. I almost dropped it. This is a Virgo Zodiac Edition Ox Bar Magic Maze. Again, no idea what that is. I don't know if this is a homemade ball or an official ball. We'll have to do a little work. That is also a feed least, number 77. That was a good year. 77. I'm surprised that things lasted that long. A lot of people didn't know that when you find a golf ball in a creek, that it's generally the year that's stamped on the ball. Like I found feed least 10s. I mean, my goodness, those things are 115 years old. Let's say you don't have a lot of time to swing by Starbucks, but you're out here enjoying the water, and you think, I sure could go for a mocha latte, some sort of an embryonic maraca. There it is. You come down here, you put some regular creek water in it, mercury laced, it's good. You set it in the sun, and you get another cup, and you get a little bit of the latte stuff out of here, and you put it on top, and you end up with quite the drink. And in small doses, it's not so bad. It passes right through you. Now, if you continually digest or ingest mercury, over time, not only will you start getting heavier, it's minuscule, so you may be okay with it, but it will eventually turn off your internal clock. That is a little more of an impressive bed. That's most likely one of these little bass that are in here. But it's hard to tell when they're not home. For those of you who know me, and many of you do, my bride is doing a lot better. Her range of motion, or ROM if you will, is a lot better with her shoulder. She still hurts, and I remind her, no pain, no grain. That's what we used to tell our cows. You don't work, you don't eat. That's also biblical. He who does not work does not eat. Of course, I'm kidding. I would do anything in the world for my bride. And I'm trying to do everything in the world to make life easier for her as she recovers from her recent shoulder situation, surgery thingy. Geek bar. I would Google this, but I don't want to touch my device that I put on my face to talk. There is not even a single piece of a crawfish in here. Nothing. I'm gonna clean this one off underwater. Geek bar pulse. There's a lot of these in here. I'm done with all I can do. So we will meander into the great wide open. Thanks for watching my videos.